Before we jump in, if you haven't watched episode 1, go check that out first. I talk about what PCOS actually is using simple stories like the confused egg factory. I also talk about insulin resistance using the sticky door lock story. So it's a good foundation and will help you understand what's going on in your body and will make this episode way easier to follow. Now let's get into episode number 2. So now that you know egg factory is a bit of mess in PCOS, let's talk about how that actually shows up in your body. We already talked about this symptom in episode 1. If you recall, in PCOS, ovulation doesn't happen, factory works on multiple eggs but never finishes the job, progesterone never shows up, you get irregular or missed periods. But here's the thing with PCOS, it looks different for everyone. In my case, my periods were regular, so these symptoms may or may not show up, and that's what makes PCOS so tricky. Too many androgens, remember the villain in our story, testosterone, that can cause extra facial and body hair, especially on your chin, chest, stomach or back. This is something I deal with too. It's a constant struggle, daily struggle with my chin hair, my body hair. This is a big one for me, and if you're looking for scientific term for this, it's called hirsutism. I will cover this topic either in episode 4 or 5 on how I deal with my excess body hair. The irony of PCOS, you get hair in places you don't want and then lose it where you do. For me, I've noticed hair thinning more recently, especially on the sides here. I don't know if you guys can tell, and yes, androgens are behind this too. Androgen is like the supervillain of this story. It tells your body to produce more oil that can lead to clogged pores and acne, especially around your jawline and chin. I've struggled with acne my whole life. I'm sure you have seen these pictures before. I'll create one full episode on how I deal with my acne. This one ties back to insulin resistance. When the doors are sticky and don't let the sugar into your cells, your body makes more insulin. And extra insulin results in extra fat storage, and this usually happens around the belly. I've observed I mainly put on weight around my midsection, and I know insulin resistance is a part of it. And what I'm going to say next is very important for you to understand. There can be two situations with weight and PCOS. Now I want you to remember the role of estrogen. If everything is working fine, he is the good manager, he is the point of contact between the brain, CEO and the factory. But if you are overweight, in that case, your body makes more estrogen through fat cells, which can trick your brain into thinking that the ovaries are working fine, they are doing their job, when they are not. And only in this case, losing weight can help regulate things. I repeat again, when you're overweight, your body produces more estrogen through fat cells that tricks your brain into thinking that everything is working fine in the factory when nothing is fine, everything is chaotic. In that case, if you lose some weight, that can help regulate things, that can help manage your PCOS. But if you're already at a healthy weight or are underweight, you're on the thinner side, in that case, please don't fall into just lose some weight trap. Don't do any crash diets. That's why I get so frustrated when I see these videos online saying losing weight is one size fits all solution for PCOS. It's not. Losing weight, crash diets can actually make things worse. It can wreak havoc on your metabolism. When your body is trying to balance the hormones, it's working overtime. Plus, if your cells aren't getting enough energy thanks to insulin resistance, you end up feeling drained and tired all the time, even after full night's sleep. This leads to brain fog and fatigue. Skin tags and dark patches are subtle signs that people usually overlook, but it's your body's way of waving red flags saying something's wrong with insulin. These dark patches usually happen around your neck or your armpits. To help you understand PCOS, you need to understand different types. Before I jump in, it's important to remember that this classification isn't officially recognized by every medical board, but it can be super helpful for understanding your symptoms and root causes better. And because I cannot remember all of them, I have my laptop here with me. Number 1 and the most common, insulin-resistant PCOS. This is the one we already talked about in detail in episode 1, the sticky door locks. Common signs are belly fat, sugar cravings, fatigue after meals, brain fog, skin tags or dark patches. In this case, balancing blood sugar, reducing processed carbs, strength training, walking after meals, and some supplements can help. Second is post-pill PCOS. This happens after stopping birth control pills, especially the one that suppress androgens. Once you stop taking the pill, androgens rebound, they come back stronger, leading to hormone imbalance. Common signs are irregular periods returning after stopping the pill, acne, hair growth, or hair thinning. Giving your body time to rebalance, supporting your liver and gut, staying off hormonal birth control, and managing stress and blood sugar can really help in this case. Chronic inflammation can also trigger hormonal imbalances and mess up with your ovulation, leading to PCOS. And this inflammation may come from stress, poor diet, gut issues, environmental toxins, or even food sensitivities. Common signs for this type of PCOS is fatigue, joint pain, bloating, skin issues like eczema, and headaches. In this case, anti-inflammatory foods, managing stress, getting good sleep, and checking for gut health or food sensitivities can help. This type is less common and more stress related. In this case, instead of ovaries making estrogen, your adrenal glands, your stress glands start making estrogen. Common signs are high DHEA but normal testosterone and LH. You might or might not get irregular periods. You feel tired, anxious, and overwhelmed. And most likely with this type of PCOS, you are either underweight or your normal weight. So these are the big fours, but I think we should also discuss two more subtypes that I think are super important and will be helpful for someone struggling with PCOS. This is where PCOS is more of an inherited trait. It runs in families and starts early in puberty. So this case is even more confusing because you don't really have insulin resistance or any sort of inflammation, but you have symptoms like irregular periods, hirsutism, or ovarian cysts. Some clues that this might be your type. Number one, you have had PCOS symptoms since your teen years. It runs in your family. You have never been on the pill but still had symptoms. Blood work and insulin levels might look normal. This is another type which is newer and less discussed perspective. Long-term stress or trauma can dysregulate your nervous system and impact your hormones. Some common signs include history of trauma or chronic stress. You also notice your symptoms worsen during emotional burnout or anxiety. You feel stuck in fight or flight. Cycle irregularities without classic insulin resistance. Your body is sensitive to calorie restriction or intense workouts. In this case, healing includes nervous system regulation, somatic work, therapy, low intensity workouts, and building safety in your body. And like I said, PCOS is not that simple. It can be tricky. These types can overlap. You might relate to more than one. The goal here is to understand what your body needs so you can support it better. In my case, looking at my symptoms, I think I relate more to insulin resistance, adrenal, and trauma response PCOS. That's why my focus is always on low intensity workouts. They really help me manage my PCOS. And lately, I've been really focusing on finding ways to stay active without putting too much pressure on my body. And that's why I'm really excited to have Get Healthy UTV as the sponsor of today's video. It's an online resource that's become my go-to for fun, flexible, at-home workouts. They have got hundreds of workout videos across all fitness levels, whether you are into walking workouts, yoga, strength training, HIIT, or even something like chair exercises for low energy days, which, let's be honest, we all have when we are on our periods. Personally, I've been loving their low impact and walking workouts. They are perfect for those days when I want to move my body but not push too hard. And I've also been doing their quick 10-minute workouts because I want to build a little more strength in a way that feels doable and not overwhelming. And the best part, new workouts are added regularly, which keeps things feeling fresh. For me, Get Healthy UTV feels like that supportive, non-judgment space where I can take care of my body at my own pace, and that's something that I really value. So if you're interested, first 1,000 of you to click the link in the description box will get full year of premium subscription for just $1.49. That will give you access to hundreds of workouts and expert advice for less than the price of a coffee. Just make sure you are a new member to claim the offer. No pressure, of course, but if you have been looking for something that can support your body, especially with conditions like PCOS, I highly recommend that you check them out. So with right lifestyle changes, you can prevent and eliminate the symptoms that we just talked about. And sometimes when these symptoms are under control, people say things like, my PCOS is gone, I have cured my PCOS, but technically it's not cured, it's just well managed. This brings us to our next point, how PCOS is diagnosed. So doctors use something called Rotterdam criteria, and you need at least 2 out of these 3 to be diagnosed with PCOS. Number 1, irregular or absent periods. That's very common, but like I said, in my case, my periods were regular. I never missed my periods. Number 2, high androgens, either in blood test or symptoms like acne and hair growth. I had both acne and hirsutism, so this was one of my symptoms. Number 3, polycystic ovaries. Not really cystic, but fluid-filled follicles, if you remember from episode 1 on ultrasound. Doctors could clearly see these cysts on my ultrasound, so I satisfied 2 out of these 3. I was diagnosed with PCOS. And it's super important to rule out conditions like thyroid because symptoms can be very similar. That brings us to our next point. What's the relation between thyroid and PCOS? We all know there's a factory down here where all this PCOS drama is happening. Let's call it factory number 1. Why factory 1, you might ask? Because there's factory number 2, which is called your thyroid factory. It's a small yet powerful unit located right here in your neck. But don't let the size fool you because this controls your energy levels, metabolism, temperature, mood, and even your menstrual cycle. When both factories, factory 1 and factory 2, function smoothly, your body runs like a well-oiled machine. We all understand when factory 1 doesn't work properly, it can lead to PCOS. But the question is, what happens when factory 2 is slacking off? There can be 2 things that can happen. For that, I need my laptop. Number 1, hyperthyroidism. In this case, workers in factory 2 go full-blown in panic mode. They are pulling the levers too fast, sending mixed signals everywhere in your body. The symptoms will be you feel anxious or restless, you are losing weight without even trying, your heart is racing, you are sweating more than usual, periods become light or irregular. So it messes with your cycle, but in a different way. Number 2, hypothyroidism. In this case, factory slows down. The workers slow down. Everything is moving in slow motion. And the common symptoms are you feel tired and sluggish all day. You gain weight easily. You're always cold no matter the weather. You feel foggy or down. Your periods can get heavy, irregular, or even disappear. Sounds a bit like PCOS, right? That's why it's so important to figure out which factory is acting up. That's why it's so important to rule out thyroid. And that's why it's so important to have this knowledge. Now that you know the symptoms, you can at least go back to your doctor and say, please run this test to rule out thyroid because I think my symptoms are quite similar. Sometimes it's factory 1 that's acting up, sometimes it's factory 2, sometimes both factories are misfiring, which means you have both PCOS and thyroid, which is unfortunate, but it's more common than you think. A lot of people with PCOS also have hypothyroidism, especially the autoimmune kind called Hashimoto's. But once you know which factory is acting up or both, you can make lifestyle changes, get proper treatment, support your body in the right direction, and hopefully one day you will be able to say that I have managed my PCOS or I have cured my PCOS, it's under control. And never quit, never lose hope. You're not alone. Issues like PCOS and thyroid, they aren't a life sentence, but they do require tuning in and taking action. And let me warn you, if you don't manage your PCOS today, if you don't take action today, there can be long-term impacts on your body, which includes number 1, infertility. It will be very difficult for you to get pregnant. Number 2, which I fear the most, type 2 diabetes. Thanks to insulin resistance, your risk of getting diabetes goes way up. PCOS can increase cholesterol and blood pressure, putting stress on your heart, leading to heart diseases. Some people develop sleep apnea, which is a serious sleep disorder where your breathing repeatedly starts and stops during sleep. This often causes a loud snoring, sleepiness during daytime, and even health problems. Most serious, and I'm not here to scare you, but it's endometrial cancer. Over time, without regular periods, your uterus, lining of your uterus can get too thick, increasing the risk of endometrial cancer. I don't care if it takes 6 months to finish all these episodes. I just hope it helps you understand your body better. I ignored my symptoms for years and I really hope that somebody would have explained it like the way I've explained in episode 1 and 2. I'm not saying my explanation is perfect or flawless. I just want us to make informed decisions, not feel alone in the process. And if this video helps one girl out there, my job here is done. I'll be more than happy. And if there's any expert out there, please free to correct me in the comment section if I've said something wrong. Now let's finish this episode on a positive note. This one is again from the same page on Instagram, To Live Happy. I will leave the username up here on the screen. The first one says, today I'll appreciate the body that fluctuates to support me. Imagine how hard your body is working to manage conditions like PCOS and thyroid. You should feel lucky that your body is still supporting you. It's fluctuating the way it is to support you. Today, I appreciate the knowledge I consume. When I research for these episodes, I learn so much, and hopefully, you guys are learning it too. So let's appreciate the information that we have discussed today. And I promise this is the last one. Today, I'll appreciate my life in all its beautiful complexities. No matter how complex your body is, no matter how hard your life is, no matter how many struggles you have had, look at how far you have come. So today, let's appreciate all these beautiful complexities. I also really appreciate the creator behind this page. So do give them a follow, and I'm in no way associated with them, but I just really love this page. It's so motivating. It's beautiful. With this, episode 2 comes to an end. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And like I always say, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That really helps my channel and keeps me going, keeps me motivated. Episode 3 will be all about my workouts, my strength training, how I split my workouts throughout the week, what's helping, what didn't help, some low impact workouts like walking, yoga, things like that. So I'll touch base on that. And yes, I'll see you guys in my next episode. Until then, bye.